Hey, what's up, AfterBuzzers? You are tuning into the AfterBuzz TV After Show for The Voice. Tonight, we're going to be chatting about the first round of battle rounds, and we have two very special guests. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey, AfterBuzzers, welcome to the AfterBuzz TV After Show for The Voice. We are being, opened with our girl, Ariana. I am your host. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dani Golub. Fellow co-hosts, where can they find you before we reveal our special surprise?
Special guest. Hey, everyone. My name is Mayte Carrillo. You can find me everywhere at Mayte Carrillo _.
Hey, AfterBuzzers, it's your boy, Russell Ray. You can find me across all handles at Russell Ray Silva.
All right, as promised, special guest, drum roll, please. We have Keisha and Sophia from The Voice here today. We are so excited to have you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming out. We have representation from both Team Blake and Team Miley in the house tonight.
In the house.
Two very important teams. So where can they find you on social media if they want to hit you up and give you that follow?
All of my handles are at Keisha Renee, and that's KeishaRenee.
And mine's just at Sophia Bollman, SOPHIABOLLMAN.
Nice. All right. So before we get into tonight's episode and last night's episode, where we're going to talk about both of your battles and your fellow artists' battles, let's talk about a little bit about your music careers and how you got started. I know you're only 18 years old. Do you want to talk a little bit about like how you got into music and how it became your calling and passion in life?
Yeah. Well, I just turned 19. So
you were 18 on the show. Yeah, happy birthday.
I turned 19 right before battle rounds. Can you repeat the question?
How did you get started
I
in
was
music?
so stuck on 18. I was like, oh.
19. You're a big girl now. So yeah, just how you got started in music, because we only get to see on the show, like, we talk about your guys' story. You know what I mean? Which is so packaged and
Very
it's beautiful, but it's brief. And so we want to, we're here at AfterBuzz. Now we can dig a little deeper, some hard-hitting journalism. Let's go deeper. Like, what brought you into music? Like, let's do that story, but more in depth.
Yeah, so I started singing when I was 6 years old. I started off in the church, like many do. My sister was actually a little bit more talented than me when I was a child, so my grandma went to her and said, hey, I need you to sing at church, and she was like, no. And me growing up and wanting to be like my sister, because she was such an influential person in my life, I did the same thing, and my grandma said, no. And she laughed. She kind of laughed at me, and she's like, you're 6. Go put your dress on. And I was like, okay. So I went to put it on, and I didn't even know how to sing. I listened to the radio, kind of hummed along, but, it wasn't really, like, something that I knew about. She said, play something, or she played on the piano, sing this, and I was like, oh, okay. And little did I know, 12 years old, I was going to be the kind of like the head of the children's choir at church. So
Amazing.
I kind of pushed myself to be a little bit better than most people thought.
And we talked about this a little bit before we went on air. The Voice isn't the first singing competition show that both of you have auditioned for. We'll get into Keisha's story in a minute, but you have auditioned to a couple other.
Yeah, so I was actually on X Factor season 3, and
I love X Factor.
yeah, I mean,
so fun.
I was 13
Very
at
different.
the time, and I dedicated my whole performance to my great grandmother who had just recently passed away. And so I was like, you know what, this is for her. I'm gonna do this, And I went out on stage, and it was kind of a letdown because I wasn't able to make it as far through the song as I had planned on. Demi had kind of like cut me short, and she said, when you get a little bit older, come back and try out again.
And you said, nah, I'm going to go to The Voice. It's okay.
Well, I had planned on going back, and it canceled after season 3.
Yeah.
So I was like, what else can I do? So when The Voice came up and I was of age, I was like, you know what, I'm going to audition. I actually auditioned 3 separate times.
Before you got to the blind.
Before I even got to blinds. And each time they kind of like, no, not what I was looking for. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Finally, I got on, and I'm on Team Miley. So
yeah, neat. And
persistence.
congratulations.
Yeah.
It really is. Like, it is not easy to make it onto these giant platforms. I think people forget, like, you are now in front of millions and millions of people, and that kind of, exposure is like, you can't even put a price tag on that. And Keisha, so you were singing with Nicki Minaj on tour. Do you want to talk a little bit about that and your journey?
I started off in church too. I think that's a great foundation. But after I went off to college, I moved back to LA and I started working at the Conga Room
Oh,
with Jamie Foxx.
yeah.
And I was a foxtrot singer, and from there, one night Jill Scott was there, and I
love
started
Jill Scott.
singing background for her. So I definitely want that to be out there. That was my first job. I love her to death, Jill Scott. And then from there, I went to Adam Lambert.
Oh, cool. Who was an American Idol contestant,
Exactly.
and you were as well.
I was as well.
Top 40 on
Season
American
10,
Idol?
Yeah,
Yes.
top 40. And he's an awesome person. So from there, I traveled with him for about 2 years touring. And then Nikki has been my job for the last 5 years. So I've been doing, professional background singing for about 7 years now. And it's been really great. Great.
Yeah. Did you get any words of advice from Nikki? Like, did she know that you were going to audition for them?
No, I kind of kept it a secret.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what to expect. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I was going out on a limb, following something that I really believe in my heart, which is country, pop soul, something new.
Different.
Totally different than like the Nicki Minaj
Definitely,
brand.
'cause
Yeah.
that's like hip hop, pop. But that's the beauty of, when you do background and you're believing in that brand, you're believing in what they are talking about. And I feel like The Voice has given me a platform for my voice to be heard. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
that,
totally.
They can hear what my heart has to say. So I'm really excited.
By the way, if anyone has questions who's watching in the live chat, feel free to shoot questions over for Keisha and Sophia. We will ask them. So let's talk a little bit about the behind the scenes. So you work with Blake and you work with Miley. What is that experience like? I mean, you have, I guess, worked with some big artists in the past, but what is it like to have that one-on-one, coaching from someone of that caliber that you, I imagine, would have looked up to for a while?
I mean, each artist that I work with, it's priceless. You learn something new from each person. You can take away, that knowledge that they've experienced.
Right.
But working with Blake has been like life-changing for me because this is a new territory. It's new ground. I'm totally unfamiliar with everything. And so, during the process, I'm getting these songs and it's like, I have to keep reminding myself that, this is something that I really want. It's very challenging because if I would have taken the easy way out doing, soul, that's something that I can do with my eyes closed. But I feel like this is a challenge. These are songs that I'm not familiar with, so it's lyrics I have to learn. And it's a short amount of time that we have to learn all these songs. And I feel like other contestants that are in my lane as country, these are songs that they've been doing for years. So it's like, I got the song that I wanted, I can go to sleep. And I'm up trying to learn songs like lyric after lyric to make sure, I know the words. So it's definitely challenging. But that's the type of person I am. I mean, I changed my whole life, my lifestyle, my appearance. I lost a lot of weight. So it's like I'm, always challenging myself along the way to become a better person.
We got some love in the comments, by the way. Gotta give a shout out to Katrina Dideckerson. She's saying, "I love you, Keisha and Sophia. Yay, Team Miley. You both sounded amazing, moi." And got some representation up there. Just Noah J is saying hey to both of you. Just want to give them some shout outs. And what about you? So what is it like? You, before we hopped on air, you were talking about how Miley is someone that you've looked up to your whole life. And
I mean,
what is that like?
Yeah, she, growing up, I'm a little end of the 90s babies, so I got the early 2000s and everything. So growing up with Hannah Montana and everything like that was super cool. I think I don't know, I just loved how her stage presence was so inspiring to me and how she was just so able to be on a stage at such a young age. And working with bands and stuff myself, I aspire to be super just outgoing on a stage, and that's what she really was, and that's what I looked up to. So, I mean, working with her in person was, whew,
How much time do you guys really get with those coaches?
Oh, we get a very short period of time.
You do.
It looks like forever on TV, but it's very short. You come prepared, and they just give you their full out knowledge on what they think you should do, and it's honestly amazing because you have this lane that you're in, and you're like, okay, so this is how the song goes. How do I venture out from it? Because you're so scared. You want to do this song justice, and it's like you don't know if you have that right to do it yet until someone who's so much higher up on scale tells you, no, do it. Try this, try that, and you're like, oh, okay, so that's super cool. Now I know. Now I'm comfortable enough to do that. So, I mean, working with everyone like that it's
Yeah.
I think it's
Let me tell you, your duo last night, you guys complimented each other so well.
He was tripping. He was literally tripping.
Mark my words, Simon Cowell, this does not work out for both of them at the same time. You need to sign them as a girl group because you guys did so well together. I did not know how the choice was going to go down. I was torn.
You guys sang "You're a Big Girl Now" by Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think that song was a little bit more in my lane, coming from being originally a country singer, a blues, funk, soul singer myself. Singing pop was so weird, so my audition song was Invincible by Kelly Clarkson. It was a little of an oddball song for me. I'd never heard the song, actually. I mean,
So do you guys get to choose? Yeah. Do you get to choose?
Some of us get to choose. Some of us, you know, we ask for recommendation. Like, hey, you know, what would best fit our story? And they go through and they look, and I wasn't really sure what to audition with. You know, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Right.
Yeah.
What are you gonna sing? You know.
I'm sure, like, you know, they don't want any crossover either as
Yes,
far as
exactly.
logistics. Like, there has to be, you know, some diversity in terms of the kinds of songs that y'all are singing. But yeah, that must have been like really intense to get up there. I think Kelly, though, is a great person to audition with because this is how she, you know, came to be with American Idol, and that was sort of her story. So I feel like it's sometimes kind of nice to like pay some sort of respect to her in that way. But yeah, so what has it been like working with the other artists on the team? Because I know that you guys were paired with a battle partner, but like who else have you been close with? Like what's it been like getting to know everyone on the show?
I mean, like, when we first get here, it's like 100 people.
Yeah.
So it's like you get to know certain people, but it's like, who
100
you
is
were
so
here,
many.
like, you know, it's so many people. But as you narrow it down, you get past the blinds and you become a team. It's like you become a family. These 12 people are now someone that you call to go to breakfast with, or you make sure they feel okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, we really have gelled. And I know just on the outside looking in, this all-girl team over here, they would
I like to call us a sorority.
okay,
Right?
they were like,
really are.
you know,
Yeah.
sticking
You
it
guys see
in
that
there.
letters.
But we definitely, you know, gelled together. Ezra, I love him to death. He is an amazing cook. Like, we had breakfast
Oh my gosh,
together.
gosh.
And then we did this thing where we had to, you know, do our song in front of our team, you know, just to get like comfortable. And we started doing that, you know, outside of just, you know, what they told us to do, because it really helped us, you know. So we got that team bonding. We were encouraging one another. We were letting each other know, like, yeah, I think that note should be do this, you know. And it became like we all wanted each other to succeed, even though we know it's only one winner. It's like we still want everybody to put their best foot forward because that's family.
I think the coaches on the show and there's the whole brand of The Voice in general is so supportive. Like we were talking a little bit about other not award shows, other like competition shows, like often put people down, but you never see that on The Voice. If someone doesn't make it, it's like come back next year, or like try this and this, or if someone gets out, it's like, I mean, even just in the live chat right now, everyone's like, Sophia, you got a massive future ahead of you. Keep at it. Like.
Thank you so much.
This show is just like the most talented people that are up and coming in this industry, and you know, whether you win or not, like someone like Darby Ann Walker, who was on Team Miley a few years ago, didn't win the show, but she has like 80,000 followers now, is in movies, has music coming out. Like, it doesn't matter.
Now you know what you're looking
Y'all
Coming for you,
better
Darby.
watch out.
No, but
them handles, let me tell you.
the reality is, it's like, it doesn't matter how far you make it. Once you make it, you've made it, because it gives you that platform to, you know, give your voice and share your story with so many people that, like, you just don't get that sort of leverage anywhere else. It's crazy. Have like, you guys been recognized in the street anywhere yet? What's that experience like?
I mean, for me, I live in a really small town, Norco, Horsetown, USA. So you kind of like go to the car wash and they're like,
Hey.
"You look familiar." Do I? Are you on The Voice? Yes. So I mean, I walk around the grocery store and now I feel like I have to wear makeup 24/7 because people are like,
They're like
what are you
snapping a
doing?
picture when you're not looking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was only a few times that ever happened, but I mean, it's so crazy to think that, you know, you're on TV with such a wide scale of viewers, and you never know who's watching.
Yeah.
So.
You live in a small town and you live in a
I
bigger,
live
like,
right.
you live right in the center
Right here.
of just everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sure do.
Yeah,
Have you
I
gotten
mean-
approached or anything?
I do sometimes just from like my background jobs. But from The Voice, no, not yet. I mean,
It'll
I
happen.
kinda,
Yeah.
like, I'm a homebody too. I'm a mother to a outgoing 3-year-old. So it's like when I'm not on the road or, you know, doing something of this magnitude, I really just love to love on her because she doesn't get all of me all the time. So
What's that balance like being a mom and now pursuing your own passion?
I mean, first of all, it takes a lot. So
Yeah, I
shout
can
out
imagine.
to anybody that's out there still pursuing their dream and have children. Like, it's hard. You know? So clap it up
Honestly,
for
like,
them.
that
Single
deserves some
moms, single
claps.
dads, even if you got mama and a daddy, it's still hard. Okay? But I have an amazing village. Like, my mom, my granny, my aunts, like, they really pick up the slack. When I go on tour for 4 months, they're like, we got her. And I'm
amazing.
comfortable,
Oh, that's so cool.
you know, to know that my child is in great hands. So shout out to the village.
Yeah, honestly. It really is like inspiring and motivating to see someone who like is pursuing their dream but also still supporting their family. Like that really is not something that is portrayed enough, I think, in the media because it is such a powerful story that you're sharing. So thank you for that.
Yeah, we only get to see a little glimpse of it.
We
I'm
do.
thinking, like beforehand, but this is nice.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like we get to see, you know, the story, like the story, this 2-minute
Right.
beautiful tie with a bow.
And like a story
Yeah.
that's like sinking to your heart.
Yeah.
And it's just
What's something that like maybe your fans wouldn't know about you that have watched the show that's something that you'd want them to know?
Oh man, I feel like with everybody, we all go through our struggles, you know, and that we're not all perfect. I just want people to know that, you know, so you go on the internet sometimes, you can see such negativity, and it's like I'm such a positive like person. I have such like an optimistic mind, and it's like I see some of the hate sometimes. I'm like, you know what? I love you anyway. So I just want people to know, like, even if you're hating on me, I will love you unconditionally because
shout out to all the haters.
You need the haters. You need the haters. But yeah, I mean, I'm such a loving person, and I feel like sometimes I always have a really straight face sometimes. Face. But sometimes I can come off as a mean person, but I am so loving and
It's very Miley of you. I feel like Miley's such a like love everyone.
She's so genuine. I want to say like Miley has literally been like the most genuine person. I had a friend who his girlfriend was shot at the Las Vegas concert.
Wow.
And she was shot through her neck and her shoulder, and
Oh
she
my
had to
gosh.
go into surgery. And her biggest inspiration was Miley Cyrus.
Wow.
And they were like, is there any way that maybe Miley can send her a video? And I was like, I have no idea. Like, I will reach out to her. I will try and make it happen. And Miley sent it the same day.
I've heard that about her as well.
Sent it the same day. And the girl, she's doing so much better. She's
That's
supposed to
amazing.
go through like a 2nd or 3rd surgery, and she didn't have to have it. So now she's breathing on her own, and she's like
Nice.
amazing.
so
Good for her.
healthy.
It's amazing.
We're not ready to show her the video yet, so she doesn't know yet, but it's there.
It's coming. It's coming when she's ready.
It's coming. It's
Hope she's
coming.
not
But
watching.
Right?
She's the one person I hope is not watching. I
Spoiler
hope
alert.
everyone else in the world is watching.
But or maybe she has seen it. I don't know. They haven't told me yet. But I mean, such a genuine person, and it rubs off on you.
Yeah.
Like being around everybody on this show has rubbed off on you. You get a little bit of everyone from the South, from LA, from anywhere. You get it, and so I think that's the most amazing thing.
Absolutely.
And how much do you get to interact with the other coaches? So I know that I can't like move on until we talk about Blake being called your dad. Like how much interaction do you get with the coaches that aren't yours? And like what relationship now have you built with Blake after that experience?
Not very much time. Battles or when you're standing in front of them on the stage. Mostly your coaches are just invested in their team at all times, and they just want the best for their team and everything. But, I mean, talking to everybody is super cool. And about Blake, I think he'd be a really cool dad. So people have asked
It's like gone viral. You're like,
It totally has.
Sorry, what's the tea on Blake being the dad? So I say a little bit of my story that, you know, I never knew my father. My father was an alcoholic, so he's not a very good man. So my mom went as fast as she could the other way and took us out of that situation. And so my mom has been a single mother ever since, but since I was so young, my mom told me, you know, your dad was a musician. He was a writer. He was in some major bands that have made it after he was gone, like Korn,
oh wow.
Alien Ant Farm, so stuff like that, you know. And knowing that, you're like, wow, I could have had a dad like that, you know what? So I think I looked up to such major artists that were men, like Blake Shelton and Dave Grohl, and just people like that who had such an impact on the music community. And so when I was 15, I was in an article in IE, so Inland Empire magazine, and I just had this little thing, and I was subconsciously just scrolling through, and I saw Blake Shelton in one of the things. And my mom was like, oh, here it is. So I didn't even see the cover of it until I closed it, and it was Blake Shelton.
Wow.
And so being in a magazine with Blake Shelton on the front of it, I think was such an inspiring thing because I'd already looked up to him musically, being a country artist in the beginning and really listening and tuned to his music. So, I mean, I think it's such a blessing to be called a dad. Everyone thinks it's such a negative
Yeah,
thing.
no, it's a good thing.
I think if you're being called a father figure, like, what? People die for a father figure. I know I did.
Yeah.
I wish for one. So, I think
He's
it's
a
a
hot
blessing.
dad, too.
I'll take it.
I really thought he was just gonna be like, you know what? Let me just push this
Steal.
and steal you
I
away.
am so
I know.
I'm so just angry at the fact that no one stole you.
It's
Yeah.
okay. I mean, people have asked me, would you have done anything differently? No. I wouldn't have done one thing differently. I put my heart and soul out on that stage last night, and I made it happen for myself. And the fans that have been following with me since Blinds or before that, you know, such love, such amazing, heartfelt things that they've said. So I didn't get a steal, but that's not the end.
hey,
You guys can't get rid of me yet. I'm ready to keep pursuing
Time for the
music and
movies
making-
and on the big time.
Exactly.
We got a question for Keisha from the live chat. I think it's Punkempi. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your handle wrong, but anyway, she or he's got a question for you. Who have been your musical influences when growing up?
Oh, wow. So growing up, I loved Whitney Houston. Oh my God, everything
Yes,
about her. Like,
You give me
The
Whitney Houston
Bodyguard,
vibes
yeah.
too.
Come
You even
on.
look like her.
Yeah.
What?
Doesn't
She's
she?
very pure.
Oh my God,
The
I love her.
Bodyguard.
Yes, I love her. I mean, it was so like so much grace and elegance and just the way she performed. I love everything about her. Shaka Khan and
Oh, I love me
like,
some Shaka.
when I became like a lover of country music towards 18, 19 years old, I fell in love with the Dixie Chicks.
Yes.
I love Taylor Swift. Like I feel like she's
You
the
do?
epitome
That is
of,
very unexpected.
like the crossover. She
Yeah.
did
I
the
love
country,
Taylor.
the pop, and that's what I aspire to be. Like ultimately, I just want to do music. Like I feel like Whitney Houston didn't have a genre. Like it was just music that everybody loved, you know. And I feel like with Taylor Swift, she came in country, but then she just started making
Whatever
world
she
music, just
Yeah.
music that everybody loves, and that's what I want to do. I mean, if I have to pick a genre, I pick country because it's storytelling, it's real music.
Yeah.
But overall, I just want to make music.
And Emily Y wants to know if you were both like always good singers. I know you said you kind of struggled a little bit when you were younger. If your sister was better than you, like were you always kind of aware of this talent that you had, or was it something you kind of had to nurture over time?
For me, my grandma heard me sing and she just knew. I didn't know I had any musical talent. My sister played guitar. Like my sister could pick up an instrument and just play it.
Cool.
Like it was crazy. She
Right.
was such a talented songwriter and everything too. So when my grandma heard me sing, she was like, "Whoa, what is this?" And ever since then, I mean, yeah, I've kind of known that music was going to be my passion forever. I tried getting off on sports, but my mom was like, "No,
Right. Time out for that.
I did not invest my money into sports. I invest my money into singing." Yep.
I've been singing all my life. Like I went to a church that had like the age brackets for the choir. You know, 6 to 12 you're in this
Ooh,
choir,
intense.
12 to 35 you're here, and then 35 and up you're sold out. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I was in the kids choir at 6, and then you were supposed to be 12, right, to go to the youth choir. I was 10.
Whoa.
Ooh, got that bump.
Yeah.
No, but I mean,
Yes.
I've been singing all my life, and I mean, it was a loving and like caring environment to where they saw the gift, they nurtured it, they made sure that you know I was able to do the leads, and
Yeah.
I was in a girl group at the age of 11 where we were like actively like trying to get a deal. So
Cool.
I mean, I didn't really
Destiny's Child.
we was, you know what I'm saying, of gospel. Shout
I love
out.
it.
No, but no, it was just like I didn't really have like a childhood, and I wasn't sad about it because I was doing something that
Yeah.
I loved from the
Right.
jump. So
Yeah.
going to different contests and being in different talent shows versus riding a bike outside or watching The Little Mermaid, I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know
no,
what I'm saying?
it's cool to
Um,
know what your passion is from such a
yeah.
young age, because I feel like so many people go their whole life and don't know what they want to do.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
before we get into the episode from last night, I want to quickly talk about if either of you have any like shows or music or anything coming up that you want to talk about that we can send our lovely friends in the live chat to come see you.
Yes. Okay, so I have a show coming up October 29th.
Soon. That's like next week.
That's like next
yeah.
week.
Woo!
Next
Okay.
It's at the W Hotel in Hollywood.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's right here.
That's right. So follow all of my handles, and I'll have all of the things for you to, buy tickets and
Cool.
see you there.
So
Oh my gosh, so fun. And what about you?
I have actually one on October 28th. It's a
Perfect. Not the same night.
Right?
If you guys need
Exactly.
plans next week, we're home. We
Yeah,
have
come
2
on
things
now.
for you to do.
It's at the Packing District in Anaheim. It's
Cool.
It's a little food mart. It's honestly
fun.
like so retro and super like
Oh,
earthy.
cute.
It's amazing. So my band Detour 91 will be playing there. Shout out to Detour 91.
Hey.
I've been with them. I'm now the leader of that band. So
Sweet.
we're packing on the gigs, I also have residency at Disneyland, so I believe we play there.
What?
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh my god.
So I think we're playing there November 15th. I'll post
Neat.
that on my
How
all my social
Cool.
media handles.
Right.
So yeah,
Oh,
I think
Go
everyone
to
just
Disneyland.
everyone just needs to make sure they're following both of you guys if they want to
Right,
find out more
yes.
info about your upcoming projects, shows, music, everything. Let's talk about last night's episode.
Let's talk about it.
Let's
Get into
start
it.
with both of their battles, because I mean we have them here. Who better to talk about it than themselves? Let's start with Keisha. So Team Blake, you performed against Noah Mack. You sang "I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry." Jennifer ended up stealing Noah. What was that experience like when they, you were picked by
Yeah.
Blake,
Oh my
but
It was crazy.
I feel like you
because
knew.
I did, because it's when we were told like who our pairing partners were, I saw the look on Noah's face, and it was just
Yeah.
like, I'm going home. And I looked at him like, no, you're not. Like, Noah is he's genuinely just the sweetest little guy. Like, he doesn't know his powers yet. Like, he has no idea. He's just walking around aimlessly, okay?
He
He is the
hypnotizes
cutest little thing.
He
Like,
is.
he
I
has
said
no
he's
idea
adorable.
his power. Like, I literally watched his Instagram go from like 1,200 followers to 16,000 because he's that cute, okay?
Yeah.
So I just knew he was going to be okay.
said it.
I said it. I called it. I was like, he's got the golden ticket
Yes,
right here.
hello.
Yeah.
All of that. He has the perfect hair. Listen,
Yeah.
he just woke up like that, okay?
I said it gives me Zach Sebo vibes. I don't know if you guys remember from like season 9. He made it so far, and like, yes, he is very talented, and I will not take that away from him. But
Yeah.
like, looking cute, like a
It
cute
gets
young
you
boy.
somewhere, I'm telling you.
Isn't gonna
All
hurt.
these little teens and like
So,
heartthrobs.
They
are
love him,
yeah,
and they
do.
vote, and they turn up, and they tweet
they
it, and they,
do.
you know what I mean.
They
So
are in it
Yeah.
to
Charge
win
up
it,
their
okay?
parents' credit cards.
I
and
know.
everything.
on the iTunes, yeah.
It was
Yeah.
so, I was encouraging him all week, like, you got this. Like, just believe in you. It ain't about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to do what I do. You got to do what you do. And we'll both be here, you know?
Yeah.
And, I mean, I think because the caliber of singing that I was, doing with the song, it allowed him to challenge himself.
Oh, totally.
And he surprised himself, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like I just knew he wasn't going nowhere. And I'm glad that that was my partner, because he's like I don't even know what to say. What is it, like a diamond in the rough? Like,
Yeah.
He has no idea. And I'm just so proud of him. I'm so proud. So I was so happy. The clip that you saw, I was in my interview like, I'm so excited to make it. And when I heard this, I was like, ah! Like, I'm sorry. I know I'm supposed to be doing an interview right now, but I told you. Okay, back. Okay. It was an awesome feeling, because like I said, you become family. And
Yeah.
he's so young, so he had
He is.
his dad there. So I became really cool with the dad. So you just become
You
just-
want the
You
like
want
you
the
guys
best,
said, you want the
yeah.
best for everyone in
Yeah.
on the team.
And it's like going in, it's a battle, but that whole week it's like,
yeah.
I was
We got
waiting.
this.
I was waiting for him. This is gonna sound really bad, but I was waiting for him to go home and then to find out next week on Good Day LA in the morning that Simon Cowell signed him. I was like,
hello. Listen.
You want
Simon
everybody
is
to
way-
sign.
No,
He's
because
like,
I
Simon
know
Cowell,
Simon
sign,
well.
sign.
No, I know
I
Simon that
watching
well.
this.
Simon started the Spice Girls.
Come
Oh
on.
yeah, I
And
mean
One
he has a
Direction.
lot, and
Yeah,
One
and
Direction
One
too.
Direction,
Yeah, no,
and
he
Two
has a lot of
Direction, and
power.
Three
That's
Direction,
for
and so
sure.
on and so
Yeah.
forth.
Yeah.
But
He has a lot
I
of
know
power.
what he looks for, and I'm like, once this kid walks over here, like, and
Right.
he just gets
He's
out of the
gonna get
voice, like,
snatched up.
Simon's gonna be like, come over here, I got a band for you.
Yeah.
Like,
Sneak them in.
This is true. Okay, so Sophia, your battle was also last night. Team Miley, you battled against Brooke Simpson. You sang "You're a Big Girl Now," a Bob Dylan song, which is someone that you said you also looked up to when you were, young, singing, those like superior male figures in these
Yeah.
amazing artists. What was that like doing that performance? And your hair was amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank
Also,
you.
she does her own hair.
Yeah.
Like, quick shout out, these braids are amazing, and she does them herself.
these braids
yeah.
are loyal. These braids
Yeah,
are
you didn't do
loyal.
those.
I did not do the side braids. That ought to have been like, my
Yeah.
heart was dead. But it did take take. That took, I want to say,
They looked
at least
awesome.
2 hours to do.
Wow.
Because
Oh, wow.
I was like, I don't think they're tight enough. And they're like, do you want your
Listen.
soul to like fall off? Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
You know? So, yes, I was with Brooke. I mean,
Were you guys
Yeah.
friends throughout that week? Like,
we actually, so we sat next to each other because we get to view our blind audition once, and it's so blurry, and you can barely hear anything right before you find out who your battle partner is.
Oh.
And I was sitting next to her, and I was just hugging on her because she was crying, and I was like, no, don't cry, you're okay, you know? During that time, like, everyone cried during watching that, and everybody was just comforting each other, or like
Aw.
praying over each other and everything like that. So yeah, sorority sisters.
You guys did look like you had a strong bond, though. I think
Yes,
out of everyone,
yes.
It was
both
crazy.
of you guys were
Like-
just sisterly, and you both were connecting with one another. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is
I
gonna be
was
so
holding back
hard.
tears the whole time we were singing because it's like you meet these people and it's such an honor to perform with them and to create such
Right.
friendships with them. It's like literally a blessing, and you didn't know what was about to happen. And I used to watch the show and be like, oh, how can these people fake all these friendships? You know, like I don't want to say
They're not
anything
friends.
nice about these people.
They're all
But then
fake.
you're sitting there and you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, these people are like your best friends now. Your sisters, your brothers, like.
Right.
Is
Yeah.
It's because you all know the struggle, and you know what it is to
Yeah.
go through that whole experience
Right.
together,
Yes.
and just to be doing all that.
So singing with Brooke and finding out she was my battle partner, I was like, oh my god.
it's bittersweet because you get to spend the week with her and you get to have this
Yes.
amazing performance, but then you know one of you is going home.
But then
Right.
again, you know, she was a 4-chair turn and I was only a 2.
Mhm.
And like she was saying with Noah, I was like, oh my god, I'm going home.
Yeah.
The whole time. And Brooke was the one comforting, no, you're not, no, you're not, no, you're not. And I was like, girl, you're good. Like, I'm going home. But I persevered through the whole thing. I pushed myself, like, beyond
Ooh,
boundaries.
yeah, we could totally tell
Keisha,
that.
you were a 4-chair turn, weren't you?
Yeah.
What is that experience like? Because it's so rare that you get that 4-chair turn
Right.
moment. Like, what is it like sitting there staring at those 4 people, having them literally fight over
The
you?
lights turn
It's
on.
crazy because it's
I
like
feel like I would black out, like full on.
I
Like,
kind of did. Like in that moment, I didn't remember. I was just like, get through the song. Like, just continue.
Yeah,
Don't stop.
exactly.
But it's a surreal feeling because it's like not 1, but 2, but 3, but 4. Like
all
people who
believed.
have been in my shoes, who've wanted this dream, achieved the dream.
It's a
and now they
handful of
believe-
people.
Right, and
Yeah.
they believe in you that much to where they're like, listen, even though he pushed it, I'm a fight too.
Yeah.
I'm a fight too. And I'm just
Yeah.
standing there like, I'm going to pass out. Like, whoa.
Literally.
So, I mean, it was crazy. And they all said amazing things, but
You just
Blake-
knew Blake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just knew. I mean, it was out of Blake or Miley for me. 'cause
Oh,
I
really?
mean,
Okay, cool.
Because of the
Uh-huh.
country
Yeah.
aspect
Yeah.
of it. But, I mean, I just feel like...
Did you
He
go
just-
in wanting Blake? Like, were you just like set in stone? Because I know for you, Sophia, it was set in stone for Miley.
Miley,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in the back of my mind, I kind of, like, when I got this opportunity, I was like, yes, Blake Shelton.
Yeah.
But in that moment, I also told myself to listen to what everybody had to say and really live in that moment and be present to, like, feel it out, you know? And still, he was the one who turned first. It was like
Yeah.
signs and wonders everywhere. It was like, you really wanted him. He was the one to believe at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Then
Yeah.
what he said made all the sense in the world. So I was like, you know what?
Perfect.
Let's do it.
You know what? I put out, for all the polls that I put out last night, because I really like to hear what my followers are interested. You were the only one that literally won by a landslide. 70%, like for the most part, it was like split down the middle. Like everyone's like, especially with you guys. It was almost
Really?
exactly in the middle.
Yeah.
But for
That's
you, it was
crazy.
70%. They're like, she's going
Against
to make
Noah?
it through. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Listen, I had to fight them titty boppers. What
Yes,
are they called?
you
Titty
did.
boppers. Listen, they were like, listen, Noah. No, I was like, "Ugh, I'm 30, I know, but listen. I got
Everyone
it."
else was so close, but I
That's
was
so
like
crazy.
70%. Like, okay.
I just
Yeah.
The
knew
fan
it.
base, yeah.
I
It
just
really,
knew it.
it really is amazing. I mean, you guys were both so good. Like we said, like this platform for you guys is just it's the best of the best. I mean, like no
So
one can ever
hard.
take away the fact that you had that 4-chair turn, and that's like something you have forever.
Yeah.
No one can
Right.
take away that you were on this stage and like made it through those blind auditions. Like
Yeah,
that
that's
is something
cool, yeah.
that video now like lives on forever.
Forever.
You know, and
Yeah.
that's epic. And like
But now that you guys mentioned that you guys had the sisterly bond, it totally completely showed through your music.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah,
said it
that's
from the very beginning, you guys had the best duo
I
of
was
the
so jealous
night
of
by
them.
far.
Like, I'm gonna put it out there. I was jealous of Team Miley. They got T-shirts and mugs. They're
Oh
just
my
like
gosh, we did.
community. I was
Are
like,
you
listen,
We
what is
did.
happening?
Actually,
Oh my
my roommate Carly Webster. So I think
oh yeah,
she's
she's
next week.
she's next
or-
week.
Yeah, I think she's next week. she is like a graphic designer, and we were like, we need to make t-shirts, and she's like, I am on it. So I should have brought it. We actually have Billy Ray Cyrus riding a dragon with a fidget spinner, battling a Buddha with a fidget spinner, and a bowl of calamari, all on this dragon. And that's one of our like prized possession stickers.
That is so cool.
That's hilarious.
And then
Why do I picture this t-shirt being pink?
no,
What color is it?
This t-shirt's all white, and it has like a rainbow circle.
Oh, Lord.
And it says "Girl Power," season 13, Team Miley.
Oh my God, so cute.
That's cute.
It really shows that like
That's a good
these
bond.
coaches like don't have to be doing this. They're already famous.
Right,
Like
yeah.
they already have their careers. Like they're here to help you guys, and it really shows through the work that like they're not judges, they're coaches. They really are, and they want to like push you guys up, and like every time they can, they put y'all on their stories and their Instagrams and their Snapchats to get you guys publicity. It's amazing to see. Like Jennifer literally is like starting her own company.
Team J Hut. No. J Hut Production.
Yeah.
Oh, but let's
So it's
talk about
Blake.
B Shell production.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
He's like Shelly, B Shelly, BS.
Miley was
My
like,
favorite
more
was-
like BS.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's my favorite.
they're all there to help. So let's talk about some of the other standouts from last night. A personal favorite of mine. I don't know if we're all gonna agree on this one, but one of my personal favorites, Team Adam Pierce and Whitney Finnemore. Stop Dragging My Heart Around. I think that the music choices from last night were so epic. It was one of my favorite episodes of The Voice of all time. Like Dangerous Woman, Stop Dragging My Heart Around.
You're a
like
big
I'm
girl
so
now,
lonely I could
yeah.
cry. Like these are amazing song choices.
I was here for my prerogative.
I was here for it. So
That
Come through.
slayed my life. I was like,
I had to put on my blazer and my
That
quarter
was
sleeve.
oh my God.
So good.
That was my
Megan
favorite.
and Lucas
Yeah.
did that.
So in the Stop Dragging My Heart Around, I loved the duet and the song. I actually personally thought Whitney won that one, even though Adam kept Adam. I think it's like a weird name thing. But I was so glad that both Miley and Blake wanted to steal Whitney, and she ended up going with Team Miley. I think that was a really good choice for her. But I personally loved that performance, but thought that Whitney won it. Do you guys watch? What do you guys think?
I watched it, and I mean, I'm not biased or anything, but I'm really good friends with Adam. So we threw a birthday party for Adam when he turned 31. Like
Cute.
Like he and I were like
Close, yeah.
buds, you know. Whitney and I didn't really become buds until battles, like the week of battles and everything, when everybody's all together. I think they were so
close.
even.
Yeah, it really
They
was.
were
It was
so
hard.
even.
That was a hard one.
And I know it felt like Whitney really stepped out of her boundaries with that song too, because you could tell that she was really pushing herself to achieve like a certain sound, and I was like, oh my gosh, girl, yes, you know, like I was loving it. So I think it was so even for me. What about you?
I would say the same.
Yeah.
It's hard.
She seemed very chill.
Yeah.
Like out of
so
everything, she seemed very chill, very comfortable, but you can tell she was actually really nervous.
Yeah.
I mean, being paired up with someone like him,
Yeah, Adam.
I was like, ooh.
The hair flip though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that hair flip. I saw that too. And what's his name? Fraser's body roll?
Fraser.
Yeah. Which we
yeah.
didn't remember his name. That's Lucas.
Lucas Fraser.
Yeah, so
That was
we'll-
my
On the
favorite.
ones
Yeah,
and
we'll talk
twos.
about that one. That was my prerogative. So that was Lucas Holiday and Megan McNeil. She picked Lucas, but the four coaches gave them a standing ovation for
I
that
know.
performance.
It was
I
amazing.
honestly thought that that was up there in one of the better performances on the Voice history for battles.
Oh, it was
I think
amazing.
ever.
For the battle, I mean, for battles, battles are really challenging because you're singing the same song, whereas I know for knockouts you get to sing your own songs. So I feel like it's the balance between complement each other and
Exactly.
getting
And
to
showing
sing
each
your
other.
own song,
Yeah,
your own
definitely-
musicality.
yeah.
I think it's a challenge. So I think that this is one of the better showcases of that.
But
I
can we
loved
just
it.
talk about that body?
I know.
I was like, okay.
And
Right.
Megan with her hair.
Right?
Yeah, she was like,
I
She
was
seemed a little
living
shy
for
at
Megan.
first, yeah.
I
I was living
love
for Megan. Her
Megan.
outfit was giving me superstar.
Yeah.
Her appearance was giving me Jill Scott with the hair.
Yes.
It's funny that you say Jill Scott was one of your idols and you sang for her because from the very beginning I was like, Megan reminds me of Jill Scott. And someone was like, who's Jill Scott? I was
Oh
like,
no! Not who's Jill Scott. Actually, she had an album. Who's Jill Scott?
right? What do you mean who's Jill
Right.
Scott? She's living
No,
with
that's
R&B.
crazy.
Come on.
Megan was like my first roommate
Okay.
in this show, and like you said, she's so quiet. Oh my God, just to see her blossom even in this
Yeah.
process, like
Oh, yeah.
it was so amazing. That battle round, she blossomed.
She did.
All that attitude, that was
Oh.
like
Superstar.
superstar.
Yeah.
And I was so proud of her. If I had to choose, I would have said she should have won that thing. But, you know, whatever.
But the hype's
know, I'm
on her.
surprised.
The
I
hype.
mean, that was
Yes.
a hard battle. They both were.
I had no idea she had it in her. I mean, from blind auditions, I didn't know until like this. I think this was my favorite episode thus far.
Oh, yes.
Just because I
Same.
was like,
Yes.
"Ooh, where did that come from?" And oh, I didn't see that
know.
before.
She was wailing.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like,
she was.
teach
Yeah.
me.
Well, yeah, please.
I was a
When you're
proud
paired up with someone like
sister
that,
bear.
though.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, you guys all came up to, and this is what I wanted. You guys all came up to a whole nother level when you
Yeah.
were coming face to face with
Yes.
someone who I know you guys were so close to,
Yeah.
and you had to just go for it. But
Yeah.
we were talking about this maybe 2-3 episodes prior that everyone comes in and we all have our favorites and you know what
Yeah.
we're doing and we try to build our own personal teams. But this episode brought you guys out and to become into one
Yeah.
and just go for it. And it was you guys all shine like crazy.
Thank
It was
you.
nuts.
Yeah, it was really fun to watch. The last one that we haven't talked about yet tonight is the song that we opened with, "Dangerous Woman,"
yes. Oh
of
my God.
Chris Weaver and Katrina
Yes.
Faye. So love the song. Again, great music tonight. They made it their own in a way that I thought was really neat because like obviously Ariana does this song beautifully, but like to take your own personal spin on it, I always think is really impressive. Jennifer kept Chris, but Blake stole Katrina,
Yeah.
which I think was amazing.
I was here for her. She came up.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
But I
yeah,
mean-
you got,
Yes,
got
she
a new
did. Round of
sister
applause for
now.
her.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of this performance?
oh my gosh.
I loved it. I loved it. And like we all, you know, hear the process.
Yeah.
They definitely grew. You know, I
So
think
much.
both of them, you know, they have such powerful voices, and when you have such a powerful voice, you have to, you know when to pull it back to compliment, or it'll just be like a yelling match.
Yeah.
And I think that's, you know, kind of what
Yeah.
it was in the beginning, because it was like, it's a battle. So you want to show like all you can do, but you have to compliment the other person. But when you have these two big voices, like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
And they figured it out beautifully.
Yeah.
Like that, like she said, Ariana's version is really sultry and soft. But honey, that
Yeah.
version last night, I was like, okay, listen.
Those vocals.
Yes, they did that.
And
so.
she was, and then I feel like if I were in her shoes and to be paired up with Chris, I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, nope, I'm going home.
Yeah.
But she didn't. She didn't back
didn't.
down.
She
She was like,
didn't.
okay, I'm just going to take it and make it my own and roll with the punches.
Yeah.
And she did it when she was there with Kelly as well, and being in that presence. I was like, oh my gosh, at the tip of my seat, like,
Yep. Yeah.
ooh, I don't even know what's going to happen.
And I think that would have been like the most nerve wracking. Like you're sitting there with Jennifer Hudson and
And
Kelly.
Kelly,
Rowland.
yeah.
And it's like, you got to give it all you got.
Uh-huh.
Like, we're thrown in there, like, go. And it's
Yeah.
just like, okay. And I think that's why they were both kind of like taken back when, you know, Kelly made that statement and she stepped on the paper. It's like, you guys are doing too much.
Too
You
much.
guys are both great vocalists, but
Pull back.
it's like, come on.
That
Showcase.
happened,
And
yeah.
They did amazing. So big shout out to Chris and Katrina.
Yes.
Yeah, it was fun to watch. This whole episode was like amazing.
everybody was.
So we're gonna do some predictions. So obviously you're still on the show, so we're gonna just like exclude you because we all obviously think you're gonna win.
Oh my God,
so
yay.
we're gonna
Yes.
just talk like who, because you guys have like the inside hand. Like obviously not giving away any spoilers from what you know from knockouts, which were pre-taped, but like. You know, who do you think, maybe someone from your team or someone from a different team, like we can give our opinions to, maybe someone from this episode that's going through that you think is like really talented and is going to make it far on this show or not, just like musically, someone that you think is going to be like a real star, just based on what you've seen talent-wise.
I like the front runners for you guys' team. Like, who's the front runners
Yeah,
for
like in
each
your
one
own
of your
head.
teams?
Oh my.
Oh, well, for Team Blake, it'll be I.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Of course.
We're not including you because like, you're obviously
no,
going to
that's-
win.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody is so talented, but I feel like if we all were to go home tomorrow and there's no show,
Yeah.
I really feel like Noah will
You think
be-
he's got the it factor?
Oh my God, listen. We need the magnets, everything
The
that
magnets.
Rascal Flatts was talking
Yeah.
about. We need all that, the
Yeah.
t-shirts,
The Tiger
everything.
Yeah.
cutouts.
He's amazing, and he actually has the talent. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been in the industry on the background
Yeah, that's
side.
why I'm curious on your...
And I've seen a lot of artists that come and, you know, on the girl side, they have a cute face, slim waist, but the vocals
Cute
ain't
face.
always there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
And it's so good to actually see, like, the full package.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, back in the day, it used to be full packages to the point where everything was together, down to the vocals, the look, everything. But now it's so, like,
Scattered.
hurry up and get it out there for some reason, and it's not, like, quality. But I really feel like he has what it takes to just go all the way down from the looks, the heart. He's so sweet.
He looks so sweet. I hope he doesn't get corrupted.
I know he won't. He
Like
has
little
great
Justin
parents.
Bieber,
Like
you
his
know?
foundation is so great.
Yeah.
Like I have so much faith. Like he's so cool.
And Sophia, what about you? Who do you think from Team Miley's? got
Well, shout out to Brooke because
Yeah.
obviously she.
Another roomie.
Ooh, she. Oh, that was your roomie?
Yeah.
Girl.
I get all the good ones. No, I'm playing. Everybody's good.
What happened? No, I'm just kidding. I have some awesome roommates.
I don't know,
Love you
just
guys.
like what you guys they're talking about is The Voice. They all like get to like live together.
Yeah.
No,
This is
we
like,
really do. So
like, behind the
we
scenes
get
gossip.
put up in a hotel room.
Yeah.
And we have at
like
first I
dorms.
was like, we get a hotel room to ourselves.
Yeah.
And then I watched last season and they're like my roommate. I said, Mom, we get roommates? And she was like, that's what it looks like. And I was like, no. Like I was so scared. I was like, what if I don't like this person?
It's only for like the 18 and up. I think the younger ones get to be with their parents.
Their parents, yeah. So, I mean, I walked into my blind roommate, and it was Carly Webster, and
awesome.
we cooked all the time. I
Yeah.
made her turtle pancakes in the morning, chocolate
Aw.
chip pancakes,
That's
like
cute.
every day. But yeah, Brooke for sure. I think Brooke is gonna be at the top for mine.
Cool.
I also think Addison
Mm.
and Chloe. Chloe, I'm gonna tell you what. I have not stopped listening to her song every single
Wow.
day.
Yeah.
Like her the chain.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, just that rasp. I think she's
Yeah.
gonna sneak up on people. Like,
Oh yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Anyone from you guys like that you think is going all the way? I mean, personally, I think Lucas Holiday is going far. He's got that like, he gives me Sundance Head vibes in the sense that like Sundance was like kind of out, like off and different in like a cool, unique way that's like not what you see in mainstream pop music. And so I think that like really does appeal to the Voice audience. People are, into that. The point of the show is that it's The Voice. So it's cool to see someone like him who maybe isn't like what you would imagine a pop star would be get to be in the spotlight.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think he's
Like
going pretty
Susan,
far.
Like Susan Boyle.
Yeah,
from
someone like that.
America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
No,
The UK.
No,
Yeah.
UK.
Yeah.
No one thought, you know,
Right.
like it was so sad. She walks
Unexpected.
out and everyone's like, "What?"
And then she's
Opens
amazing.
She
her mouth and
opens
is
her
like,
mouth
"What?"
and she's like
out of the
heaven
park.
sent.
Right.
And it's like, wow, yeah. I
Don't
think
judge that book by its cover.
no,
True.
no.
For me, I definitely have to say it's Mariah.
Mariah.
Oh.
I mean, I saw that
love
yesterday. I just got like a whole different feel for her. Like I got the chills as she picked up, when she picked up the guitar and she started playing. I was like, whoa!
Right.
Like
She
her
transformed.
power. She transformed
Yeah.
to like a very more powerful soul. And to me, I was like, that's it. Like I feel like she's gonna make it really far.
I was so surprised Shiloh didn't get a steal.
Yeah.
I called
was
her
too.
mom because during battles, like I was so like I was away from
Yeah.
my mom and I was like, I need a mom, and she was like, I got you.
Yeah.
So I
was
called her
surprised
mom,
too.
but she stepped up her
She did.
game.
Yeah.
I was
Everybody.
like,
I think that's the beauty of the battles. You know what I'm
Challenging
saying?
each
They
other.
challenge. That's the biggest thing, and I feel like everybody stepped up.
yeah.
I'm not
so
biased
much.
because I'm on this season, but I really think
I agree with
this
you.
is like
The best.
one of the
Everyone
best.
stepped up. Yeah.
And last but not least, who do we have going through?
Frasier.
Yes, I love this
Lucas
name.
Holiday.
Lucas, right? Lucas plays.
I know. So we could literally talk all night about The Voice and you guys.
really
But so if they are fans, followers, everyone watching wants to follow you guys and your careers now that you're off the show and now that you're still on the show, and where they could come see your performances live, where can they find you on social media to, check you out?
Go ahead.
Girl, no. You,
Oh, okay.
Ladies-
Well, I am. Ladies first.
ladies first. I was like, wait,
Okay. Older lady first. Okay. But yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter. It's Keisha Renee. Facebook, Keisha Renee. Just Keisha Renee.
Make sure to
Keisha
check them out.
Renee.
Yes.
Follow this girl. Come on now.
Follow me.
For me, just Sophia Bollman, my name.
Yeah,
know?
make sure you guys check her out.
Simple.
Sophia's going to be doing big things now that
That's
she's not on the show
right.
anymore. You don't want to miss it. And y'all, where can they find you if they want to keep chatting it up?
Ladies first.
Oh, fine. Hey.
Ladies first. Hey,
Hey guys, you can find me everywhere at Mayte Carrillo _.
How do you spell that?
It's MAYTECARRILLO.
Yes, with the
Hey,
doubles.
double,
Come on, the
double.
ones and twos.
Double
like
the
Snoop Dogg.
R's, the L's, yeah.
Right.
And y'all can find me on Instagram and every other platform at Russell Ray Silva.
And you can find me everywhere at Dani Golub. It has been so fun. Thank you guys both so much for coming in.
Thank you guys.
Good
so
luck with
much.
everything. We will see y'all next week.
All right, bye, guys.
And buy their tickets.
That's right.
Yes, yes.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.